And this is what it says, that the trees, their growth is from the ground, that their source is from these kings, that died from the land of Edom. That's because the concept of that they grew from the ground is the birur nefesh habahamis, the purification of the sparks. That the concept of that which grows from the ground is the concept of birur, of purification and elevation of the sparks in the ground. As is known in the concept of that from the tree fell the sparks into the rivers and flowed down, and the avodas adama, harura hadama bavorecha, is the concept of elevating the sparks in the ground. So too is the concept of elevating the nefesh bahamis. And all this is rooted in the concept of the trees from the garden. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Oh, I'm sorry. And the end of the paragraph is, and from all of this you can understand, with extra explanation, that concept that we explained about the trees of the garden. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan says, Lo haya olam kedai lishtamish barazim chulu, that the world really wasn't fit to use cedar trees. Shamba medrash Rabba hine bezor chelik aleph daf lamad aleph sof lamad aleph perush the sheshis yimei beishis nikra arze levana. So in Zohar it says that the 6 days of creation are called the trees of Lebanon, the cedars of Lebanon. And there in Zohar there, it's the level that it refers to is the 6 sides of Abba, which are called the beginning. The Abba's Reshis Chachma. The Reshis B'Derush Birchas Hazimon V'chein Kasu B'Mikdash Melech Sham Daf Chavtes Amar Aleph B'Shem Ore Or L'chein Lo Haya Ulam Kedai Lishtamish B'Han. Therefore, why is it that the world shouldn't use arazim, really shouldn't have merited that? It's because we're talking about a high level, that they come from the Vav Ksavos of Abba. Because it's enough to have the 6 sides, 6 midos of the worlds of Bria and Yitzira, that they are called the 6 days of the week, as opposed to Atzilus, which is like Shabbos. Especially if we're talking about Vav Ksavos da Abba. I'm Bezor Emor Daf Tzadik Dalar Amar Beis Gam Al Derech B'Maimer Echad Yochel Libarus. Similarly, that the world could have been created with one statement, Dainu B'Malchus Levad, that is to say a lower level. With Malchus alone, Sheklula Me'aser Sfiros Kula, that includes the 10 Sfiros in it. Kim Litzorach Binyan Beis HaMikdash Shnikra Levanon. Only is for the purpose of the building of the Beis HaMikdash, it's called the Levanon. And this is similar to what we're saying here, that the world wasn't kedai to use the arazim. It was only for the Beis HaMikdash. Because the end is tied into the beginning, so Levanon is the concept of the Levanon, is the whiteness of the revelation of Keser. And Malchus includes everything, just like Keser does. So one statement could have been enough. You didn't have to have all 10. Exactly the opposite. Beis HaMikdash is called a house. The concept of a house surrounds completely. It's a higher makif. So I guess this concept of the makif and its connection to Malchus and so forth. But the main point is that just like the world wasn't kedai, because you could have used the lower level, so too the world could have used the lower level in creation with just one thought, just one statement. This that the Medrash says that there are mainly 3 of them, and they added another 3 of them. That is, the first 3 were chagas, and the second 3 were Nehi. I'm not sure which three we're talking about. L'cha'ora, we're talking about the trees. Gan gadol me'eden v'chulu. It says that Gan is greater than the Eden. L'cha'ora yesh lomar. I'm not sure where the statement is from, but l'cha'ora, it's a continuation of the Medrash Rabbah. We could say yesh lomar lo pligi, that this is not an argument. Ki hini chochmei law shehi Eden nikra yud, because chochmei law, which is the Eden, is called the yud. Ubina nikra hey, and bina, which is lower than that, is called the hey. Im kain bina gedola me chochmei. If so, bina is greater than chochmah, because chochmah is just a point. Ubina nikras Gan Eden. Bina is called Gan Eden. Asagas alakus, which is grasping the godliness, which is the idea of Gan Eden. The neshamos get a nurturance from their hasaga and elukus. Ein dibur hamas v'loroni v'simchi bas. V'zeu b'yud nivra ha'ol maba. That's this idea that the world to come was created with yud. Ach kol ze b'inyan ha'kelim. But all of that is with the concept of vessels. The yud and the k. V'al b'inyan ha'oros na'afochu. But with the concept of lights, it's the opposite. Shekol ma shelamayla yoser ha'oros merubim yoser. V'b'chin zu eden gotl. The higher you go, the bigger it is, the more lights. Therefore, in this concept of the lights, Eden is greater than the Gan. Berashit daf chav vav amud aleph perish Gan dash chinta tata. And Berashit in daf chav vav, the way it explains Gan there is that Gan is the lower Shechina, the Shechinta, which goes down to Malchus Eden imay la, which is Malchus, and Eden is the higher Ima. So Gan is Malchus and Eden is Ima. I'm not sure how you would answer that question he just asked about which one is bigger, which one is smaller, but perhaps in the same way. Yinami Yishlomar Gan Za Eden Ava. Where you could say the Gan corresponds with Zir Anpin, and the Eden is Abba and Ima. Hinizahu Vav Sfiros Shurashim. Now, Zir Anpin is built from 6 spheros. Gufa, Al-Kain Bebechinazu, Gan Godel. So in this way, Gan is greater, because regardless of the fact that Ava is Eden, but Za is composed of 6. Aval Be'oros, Adkan Nimtza. But in the lights, it's the similar type of beer. However, we don't have any more from this Ksaviyat of the Tzemach Tzedek. Continuing. Tani, Eitz Shuhu Pose Al Pnei Kol HaChaim. We learned that it's a tree that's Pose, I'm not sure what Pose is, that maybe steps or spreads out upon the face of all living. Oh, so he brings the Perush of the Aruch. What is Pose? So it's a language of if the Paheres, if it spreads out, if it gets greater, bigger, so the tree is, so to speak, spread out upon all living. Because in Zir Anpin, there's different levels of mochin into it and giving it life. You have different levels of mochin into the Zah. You have, there's Iber, which is the, so to speak, pregnant state, where the Nehi of Ima are, so to speak, pregnant and haven't gone down into Zah in a revealed way yet. Then you have Yunika, where the mochin from Ima to Zah are giving a nurturance, mochin de gadlus. And you have the great mochin when they've completely been revealed into Chabad of Zah. And there's a number of different concepts with the concept of gadlus Zah. There's known gadlus rishon, gadlus sheni. No, the binyan gadlus rishon, gadlus sheni. Like on Pesach Seder and so forth, and then just in general. וגם לפעמים עולה עד אריך אנפין, and at certain times, Zah goes up to Arich כמו בשבועות, שאז לוקח כסר מיסוד העתיק, and that's when Zah goes up to Keser from Yisod of Atik, concept of getting the Keser Torah. Hamislabish b'tiferes Arich v'chulu, and that Yisod of Atik is enclosed within Tiferes of Arich, goes into Keser of Zah l'chora. V'kana b'chinas yichida. And it acquires the concept of yichida, or maybe the concept of a kana, of a wood, a stick of wood that's planted, is the concept of yichida, which I guess that would fit within the context of trees. So what's the concept of a kana? Would be the concept of yichida with single stick. To Pirish Ramaz Parshas Beraishis Daf Ches Amud Aleph Dibur Maschil as Damnas Lemehevi. Zeu Inyan Aperishu Pose Al Pnei Kol HaChaim. This is how we can explain what it means that it spreads out upon all the life, all the living. Ki Chaim Hem Abba Ve'ima. All the life, because the concept of Chaim here, the life is Abba and Ima. It spreads out over all the Abba and Ima. Ve'iu V'chayohi Chad, and he and his lives are one. That because then the proof for the fact that Chaim is Ava is Iu v'chayu echad is the concept of Chachma v'Atzilus. Be b'chinas Chachma v'Atzilus shu b'chinas Chaya shalamayla me b'chinas Naran. Because it's a concept of Chaya, which is higher than Nefesh Ruach Neshama. So the concept of Chachma, in comparison to Bina Zah and Malchus, which would be Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh, below it, which in comparison would be the Kalim. And that's why the Torah is called the tree of life, because it's from this level of Chachma. The call Chaim to La'ela Ba is Kalilu. Or maybe it's higher than the Chaim, because we're talking about the eights that's post Al Pnei Kol HaChaim. So that's the eights. HaChaim, Eitz Chaim is the tree of life above Ava. The Kol Chaim V'Leila Ba is Kalilu, that all the life above is included within it, meaning to say even Ava is kolol in that Madrega. Uperish HaMikdash Melech Sham, the Hainu Mochin de Ava Shmislab Shim B'Zah, Nikra Eitz Chaim. But here, according to the Mikdash Melech, it's a different idea, that the Chaim is Abba V'Nima, and that are enclosed within Zah. That Zah is called the Eitz Chaim, that it's the tree that life, I guess, goes into. That if we're talking about that Ava is the Chaim, so the tree, I'm not sure how you would be Mefarish Pusal Pnei Kol HaChaim, it's a different beer. Beer Zeh Yuvan Memash Kaza B'Torah or Rishas Parshas Beraishis. And the explanation of this, we can understand what's brought in Torah or in Beraishis B'Dibur HaMaschil Hashamayim Kisi. There it also explains the concept of Shemayim being Shemayim and arts being L'chora Zah and Malchus.